Hello and welcome to DarrenWCarter.com. I am Darren W. Carter, and I'm honored today to share with you a little bit of my life history. Some may even say that it's a little known Black history fact, but it was something that changed my life and greatly changed the lives of others who experienced it. The summer of 1990, Cleveland State University here in my town, Cleveland, Ohio. The event was a 92-day protest that kind of shook the university and Cleveland, the city, as well. It was a nationally publicized protest / sit-in. It was the longest since the 60s, so nothing had really come about and gotten so much publicity in the way of our local leaders, whether they be civic, religious, or political. Even regional and national leaders had came in to either fly in, fly out, say they agreed, disagreed, show support, or not. We had sessions with Joseph Lowery, the Dr. Joseph Lowery, past president of the SCLC. We've had Reverend Jesse Jackson come in. We've had dealings with Mike White, the then mayor. Anybody and everybody from former Congressman Louis Stokes who had a political tie. We even had now Councilman Jeff Johnson, who was senator at the time, and then who has went on, Councilman Fannie Lewis, set aside their differences in the political arena to help our cause. Or maybe not. Now, there were different opinions of this protest and how we went about it and who did what and who stepped in and was the students in control and all of that. And being one of the student leaders, kind of in and out of the meetings, I also question some things myself, and I have my own opinions. And if you've kind of kept up with my blog here and there, you've seen parts where I've said I wanted to share the protest with you. Haven't been able to do that, but now I have a kind of special treat for you. I was happy to have a reunion of sorts of many of the students at a retirement party for our mom, which we called her Patricia Washington, who was in the Black Studies department most of our college careers. And she retired from the university, and we all kind of came back in together, and we got back in touch with each other. So what I wanted to do was ask their opinions of the protest. So I kind of sent everybody some questions, a few of them. So from those questions, you'll read their answers. You can kind of see what their thought process was, what their high points, low points. Did they feel that the protests did what it was supposed to do, or no? Because that protest was leading. Well, it was the straw that broke the camel's back over many issues that we had in the university at the time. Cleveland State was deemed a racist university by then Council President George Forbes. And the president at the time of the university, Walter B. Wagen, he didn't take those accusations lightly, so he formed a committee, which the governor, I believe it was Celeste at the time, don't quote me on that because I may be wrong, agreed with. And that particular committee met and they gave some recommendations. And out of that recommendation came the formation of a new office at Cleveland State University, which was the Office of Minority Affairs and Human Relations, OMAR. Now that was to be headed by a vice president, so it was an important office. And they did a national search, and from that they even had one of Cleveland's born, Raymond A. Winbush, Dr. Raymond A. Winbush. And he quickly became a student favorite, a favorite of mine. I had then became president of the NAACP at the time, and we all, the leaders, black and white, Latino and all, kind of bombarded him with our issues and hoping that he can help us in fixing them. But a year later, the academic year later, we come to find out he was fired. So from that conversation that we then went into the student protest. That is a very short snippets of cliff notes of the protest. I mean, 92 days, there are a lot to talk about. So what I'm going to do is weekly give you some of the people's answers. on the questions that I submitted to them and that they submitted back to me, their answers and responses. So you can get a feel of what's going on. And in between, some pictures and things like that of our, I don't want to say ordeal, of our experience, what we experienced, from bomb threats to gas in the buildings to calling all kind of racial slurs during our our disturbance of peace at the university, arrested and all. But it was an eventful 92 days. We learned so much, and it shaped so much of who I am today. So you will see that, but I want to start out with one. We think that 1990 was so far away, but on the campus of the University of Kentucky right now, they're going to some things where black students are trying to organize because there's been so much hate rhetoric going on at the university. And one of our former students at Cleveland State University, who at the time was the president of student government, Adam J. Banks, who was an associate professor there, wrote an open letter to black students there, sharing some of his wisdom and experience that he even gained here in Cleveland regarding to gathering up yourselves and moving forward in an organized fashion to fight discrimination in whatever realm that it comes from: speech, physical, institutional, however it comes, to get together to organize and structure and do it. So below this video you will see his open letter to black students at University of Kentucky. This will start out this series of the CSU protest, and next week you will see each week a new response and a new part to the series. So keep coming back to here, DarrenWCarter.com, where I'm always your host. There is nobody else. And continue to, I just can't say enough for those of you that continue to come back on a constant basis. Thank you ever so much. I appreciate your readership. I appreciate you following me, your comments, and all that. I could not do this or continue to do this and have an audience without you. So I appreciate that. But come back, enjoy it. You have comments, questions for the article writer or the question answerer, hey, leave them down in the comments. Let them know. They can, we can send response. We can have dialogue. Because whatever we think or want to be, just because President Obama is in office, yeah, we've had wonderful, great strides, but there are still issues, and they're just there, and they have to be dealt with. But same things we were dealing with now, obviously the same things that have been going down even in the University of Kentucky. So enjoy this, come back, and I will see you on the flip side. Take care. Thanks.